I never thought I'd make it through high school, you see. Those eyes intensified from kids to teachers and even some principals who had no principles even watched me. So today, when those eyes look at me with all types of sexual gaze, I am a woman now, and I turn around and say, thank you all for your years of staring, and it has caused me great pains, but over the years, I've learned to love myself in every single way. I am a woman who treats me years of staring, I'm not a piece of caused me great pain. Your eyes, but over the years, I've learned to love myself and every single
Dear people who don't always feel beautiful, you are. The sun makes your skin sparkle when you run. Your eyes play mirror games with your shirt in the light, and your smile widens every time you see a familiar voice. That's beauty. Beauty is quick-witted banter over coffee. It's the gravitational pull of your heart and the orbit of my arms around your core. Beauty isn't just a nice body. Beauty is everybody. Beauty is anybody. Dear anybody, you aren't a nobody. You are somebody. You have some body.
Yeah, right. Yes.
Thank you.
Oh. Yeah.
This poem is called Say Their Names. Can you promise me you'll say their names? In the soft glow of the morning, say them. Say them in the warm reflection of cool sirens as they spin through the gentrified parts of town. Say them as the hot sun stirs mad blood within you. Can you promise me they won't become a footnote of history? I've already seen the way their names have become sullied by pink, swollen tongues too allergic to the truth. But I need the syllables pronouncing each one's souls to lift them higher as they exhale their suffering out of this world. How can all lives matter if black ones don't? And brown ones would if it stay in their own country, and purple ones need to straighten their ties, camel ones should, blue ones get acquitted, red ones get poisoned and pelted, while yellow ones get sexualized, and all the while young lives are left with imprints of all the names etched in the sand before the high tide rolls in and carries them out lost at sea. How can we exist in a world that worships any God but love, follows any prophet but acceptance, knows any law but forgiveness? Only when we have the courage to say their names aloud will we have finally reached heaven. But even with this knowledge, I dare not utter a single one of them, for fear we are already in this place and God is dead. Thanks, guys. I've got two more, if that's cool with you guys. This is called When I Grow Up Dreams. When I was 5, I told my mom that when I grew up, I wanted to be president of the United States. If I were president, I told her, the first thing I would do would be to pay off the national debt. A grandiose idea for a kindergartner? Maybe. But I wanted to wipe the slate clean. Isn't that the American dream? Work hard and you can achieve anything? I soon realized wiping away years of national debt couldn't bleach away years of whitewashed nationalism. Someone tell Tom Sawyer it isn't a privilege to paint the fences that separate us, but an honor to tear down divisions and replace them with patriotic brotherhood. Let's divide our time between glass-bottom skyscrapers and glow-in-the-dark stars on the ceiling. Let's tap dance over the sky beneath us and trace constellations like rosary beads in a heavenly sanctuary. Let me be the president of a country where we praise in a ruthless church, where there are no limits to our love, no cap on our compassion, and no barrier to the worship of two hearts. If I were president, like Lady Liberty, I'd welcome your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. I give opportunities to immigrants like my grandfather, the stonemason, or my grandmother who worked in a clock factory. What we could accomplish if we could just wind back the hands that ticked on through war and industry to the steady beat of a progressive pendulum. I'd be president in a country where my Italian Catholic father, marrying my Southern Baptist mother, doesn't bat an eye. A country who knows love in all the iterations that have come out of the shadows and of the closets since my 5-year-old days, when the most impossible marriage imaginable was between two straight, white, slightly different Christians. If I were president, I would appoint Supreme Court justices like they were the Justice League of America, where Scalia is Superman and Wonder Woman is the notorious RBG. I'd be president in a country who would have no need for the bat signal, because my Department of Homeland Security would team up with the Department of Education to create renewable energy and the power of peaceful rhetoric. I'd defend our Second Amendment right to be armed with wit and defended by knowledge. If I were president, I'd end the war on insecurity. I teach our young girls and boys that it's the content of their character, not the contents in their pockets that matter most. We'll teach our girls they can be more than beautiful, they can be intelligent, and our boys that they can be more than strong, they can be empathetic. When I'm president, we will teach a future of capability and confidence in the face of adversity. We'll march forward in steel-toed values, wearing jackets of optimism, and every step will remind us that our future is worth it, that America is worth it. But mostly, if I were president, I'd tell my country to vote. Vote like you have nothing but choices. Vote like you eat democracy for breakfast, like the national election is syrup and the down ballot is pancakes. Vote like local elections are the heart of this American meal and the guys at the top are just the sweet stuff. Bring silverware into the voting booth and cut away the burnt out bits. Wash it down with a serving of letters to your senators and a day on jury duty. Vote like you weren't born with this right, like your ancestors died for this right. Let your voice be a tangible force of light peeking over a dark horizon. Demand that your president does better than yesterday. Vote like we can do better than yesterday. Vote like your voice matters. that you have the power to prevent disaster. Don't settle for a disaster. Don't settle for disillusionment. Settle only for the exceptional. When I was 5, I told my mom I would settle only for president. Now, I will only settle for one United States. Thank you. All right, I've got one more for you guys. Thank you so much for listening to me. You guys are rocking. This one's called Point Shoes. I saw a pair of point shoes hanging on the wall by their ribbons. It was funny how such a simple image consumed my thoughts so strongly. When I was younger, when we were poorer, we had this empty living room, and we'd laugh and joke and say it was a magic room, and we'd fill it with only love. And it turns out it was a magic room. It was a cause for creativity. It was a muse for us, the monetarily miserable. I would sit and write words pouring out of my ears and onto the paper that warmed our floor while you would flit around the room, testing out choreography you previously only imagined in your head. It was amazing how differently we thought. For me, in poetry, it was words, always words, words on words, or in eloquent prose, trying to romanticize the mundane way we'd gone grocery shopping with coupons you had. For you, it was in music. It was the tangible connection between melodies and movement. Your words said more than my body. Your body said more than my words ever could. I could tell you your mood by the way your feet moved. Your excitement played in the songs you put on indefinite repeat, and your joy materialized as you bent and swayed your body with the technique of a ballerina and the beat of a Beyonce backup hit. Your pensive mood rendered you more reserved, more hesitant to share the maps in your head with the cartographers in your feet, but it was your sadness I noticed most. When you were truly melancholy, that's when the point shoes appeared. You would sit and ritualistically lace the ribbons around your ankles like a priest preparing the Eucharist. And you systematically stretch the strings of your marionette and effortlessly ascend onto your toes. It was like watching angels fly with the weight of the world's sins on her wings. Because while you danced, you were beautiful, and you were sad, and you were beautifully sad. And while you were on your toes, you were perfection. And it was tragic that perfection came in so sad, locked blocks, and heartbreaking that it held no key, and still no amount of words or music could change our monetary status. But we still filled that empty room with passion and love and art, never knowing that all the while we were drowning in it. That passion pushed us underwater, and the love invaded our lungs, and the art wouldn't pull us back onto dry land, so you danced. And I wrote, and the point shoes came out more and more, but rather than an ascension of angels, it was demons who demanded their distressed marionette to dance. They dragged you rather than lifted you, and you weren't weightless anymore. Every anxiety bore on your bones when you tried to balance the beauty with the beat, with the beat, with the beat, with the beat, 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 beat. Anxiety beat you, bullied you, battered you, but you kept dancing. Your toes bloody, you craved calm in the room that promised peace, but every time you put your point shoes on, you invited a tempest, a swirling storm of worries and pressures, and I couldn't create the words to pull you off point. I'd chase your demons who were dragging you to the top of your tippy toes and try to pull you back to earth, but by then your dancing was an addiction, so my words fell on deaf ears and pointed toes, so that by the time it was finished, by the time it was over, you'd emptied that room of all the love and joy it helped create, and all that was left of our magic room was you and your shoes. But you beat on and ritualistically laced the ribbons around your ankles like a priest preparing the Eucharist. Thank you, everyone.
Shortly, we're going to continue a little more. Okay, and also there's a donation box back here. If you feel that you can give out, lend out a hand, please do. Okay. Bria the poet. Bria.
Okay. We just gonna keep it short and sweet, because y'all probably hungry, but y'all don't want to see y'all. You know how when it's food and
You know what?
Alright. So if any of you have never heard poetry before, spoken word poetry, it's not red, roses are red, violets are blue. Just get up here. You don't know what's going to come out. So this first one is just how I feel about poetry, and then we're going to do another one. All right. I read in a book that no great mind ever existed without a touch of madness. Well, I must be crazy. Insane in the membrane, twisted cerebral. See, I got two pupils that see things differently and a peephole for sanity. I believe. Spiritually elevated, levitating, skating on another galaxy. I'm out of this world, literally, and granted, I ain't for everybody. But for those few who feel me, let's ride. And I've tried to force my pen to write some other way, but substance is all that I know. So for those who do not know me, hello. My name is Bria. I have a powerful voice that commands audiences and a flawless ability to persuade mentalities. I have a dying infatuation with language and a powerful capability to maneuver around words, matching nouns with verbs, agreeing subjects with topics to place keys on organs. I have a keen sense of empathy that connects me to human beings, allowing me to verbally illustrate symphonies of feelings that you just can't speak or put into words. And I love these words when they say I'm sick. I'm sorry to believe them. See, I got this craving that rolls on the inside of me, and no matter what I do, I just can't seem to satisfy it. See, my mind won't quit racing, and my pen won't quit moving. I swear, my feet been pacing this floor for about 5 hours. I'm so excited. And I got this that I just can't seem to keep down. The mother has kissed me with a gift, and all I want to do is share it, even when no one wants to hear it, and it's scary at times. I feel like I done lost my damn mind, stripping nude in front of new faces publicly. See, there ain't no difference between me and an exotic dancer. I dance around crowds with no clothes on just to expose parts of me that ain't supposed to be seen. And I want it so bad, and I'm willing to do it for no money. Yes. Let's go, Bria. I'm a junkie for poetry, and I got a dream. See, I got a dream that won't let me sleep, and a stomach that's always hungry, and 2 feet that can bounce back from any adversity. See, that jail cell couldn't hold me, and suicide couldn't take me, because I'm supposed to be here. And I finally figured out why I can't seem to close my mouth. Secretly, I want to be like a stand-up comedian. I just try to be on the side. But y'all laughing, so that's a good sign. You know, I can take that up. All right, so check this out. Since we're talking about loving ourselves, in order to love yourself, you have to let go of the people you're not supposed to love.
Say so.
Right? Even if it's a parent or a sister or a brother or a friend that you think that you have to have them there, you don't. Let them go.
Amen.
See, I used to love you. I used to praise you. You were the God to my religion. I worship your existence. Placed you on a pedestal so far in heaven that my vision lost its ability to see the hell in you. See, I armored myself with ammunition and boxed with your demons. Even on the days they possessed you, I fought for you. And see, I continue to paint you beautiful, but your colors keep fading, and well, my arms are tired. See, loving you is an exercise that my muscles have yet to strengthen to. You are a workout that's detrimental to my cardio, and I'm still trying to convince my heart that this is healthy. You know, working this out. And I know that being out of shape tends to hurt until you trim to fit. But I just can't seem to fit my vision into your perception. And no matter how much you make up this persona, I still see the real person in your foundation. Your colors keep fading. And I still continue to love you. You know, you act as if I want to believe that you're ugly. Like I actually enjoy the anxiety of facing you. Or the pain I feel in my feet from stepping on all of the mirrors that you shattered with your other side. Or the brace that the doctors ordered from spraining my neck, constantly looking for your other side. That you keep hidden under these garden of roses that you ordered me to dig in. And I keep digging and searching for an image that you don't possess. And yes, I cast you out like a demon because your toxic spirit clouds my atmosphere with negativity. You dehydrate me. Keep me malnourished. feeding me pesticides, rotting my insides. And I thought that working out was supposed to be healthy, but you're going to be the death of me. So please, take me off your life support, and I will support myself. And I will love myself until the image on the canvas reads beautiful. And I dare you to call me selfish, because I tried to paint you beautiful too. But your colors kept fading, and my arms are tight.
Yeah.
I know, right?
There may be another round, so you have to.
Oh, okay. I'm just throwing out the fact that I only counted 2 poems.
In the train of
then you know.
Oh, wow. I'm a wordsmith, not a mathematician.
Oh. The beauty of being an accountant by day and a poet by night.
Wow.
But
You got
I'm so next up to the mic or stage. If you want the mic, next up to the mic. Everybody please put your hands together for Meka, the messenger.
Give us a message. Bring the word.
Word. Hello, guys. Thank you guys so much for having me. I'm excited. I do have a word. I got a message for real. I'm going to start with this piece that is a little strong, it's a little tough, but I grew up in a small farm town called Pinewood, South Carolina, about an hour and a half from here. And my parents sheltered me big time. So they just sheltered me. I didn't do anything. I didn't get out. When I was 18, I headed to Massachusetts. And I realized that this world is crazy. That the people are crazy. That people are mean. That people hurt other people. And I didn't know this as a young girl. I just saw love. So I wrote this love poem when I got there. I had always wanted to write a love poem. Something to make someone smile, bring someone joy, enlighten the darkness, weather the storm. Always wanted to hear it. I love you. Somebody should say it. It needs to be heard. I needed to hear the words. I love you. But I've had it. You've had it. We all had it all wrong. No one needs to be told. The words are irrelevant, have no sense of sensibility. The words won't feed you when you're hungry or weather any storm. I'm sorry, y'all. I had wanted to write a love poem, but love don't love nobody. It will make you down, make you weak when used in vain. Those 3 simple words can cause you so much pain. I remember the very first person to utter them. Baby girl, I love you, but I touch you there. Don't tell anyone, your mama won't care. But it hurts when you touch me there. It beats at my soul. Daddy, if you love me, leave me alone. Let me play alone in my rooms and let me braid my hair. You see, it's love that makes him touch me there. And the second person to tell me she loved me was my mama. But blind are those to the facts of life when life is factual. Walk on that big. Mama knew. She knew exactly what to do. So telling her wouldn't change a thing. My mama loved me so much she allowed her unfaithful husband to touch the daughter who she birthed life into. Was given the order from God to love and protect me. You see, even those who say they love the Lord will lie. You can't find God in the words I love you means nothing. Pastor says, bring all your problems to the altar and leave them there. So I took all the love of my parents to the altar and I left them there. Pastor says he's an intercessor for the Lord and he loves me. You'll see, Pastor was the 3rd person to utter those 3 words. And on Tuesday night after Bible study, Pastor turned off the light. I grabbed the Bible to my chest and professed I'm only 15. But Pastor loves me so much he was rough, tough, and mean, made me bleed everywhere. I dare to scream, Pastor says he loves me. Dropped me off that night with a Bible verse. Proverbs 18:21, love prospers where fault is forgiving, but dwelling on it separates close friends. Well, Pastor says I should not dwell on his love. Well, his love is dwelling on me. It's seeping out of my pores. It makes me indifferent, makes me want to lash out at my God. They say I love you, though they hurt you. They say I love you, though they rape you. They say I love you, though they desert you. When used in vain, those three simple words can cause you so much pain. Please forgive me, y'all. I had simply wanted to write a love poem. That poem is, of course, about a young woman who experienced abuse, and it definitely wasn't me, but a young girl in Boston that I worked at a YMCA, but my mom and dad are over here on the left. And I was so shocked to hear these stories that I heard in the North because I was so sheltered. I thought everyone who said they love you, they love you. But, and I'll share this one, it's called The Power of Words. It's something that I also learned as a young girl. My parents told me often that words have power. Do you have any idea the power that lies between your lips? Red lipstick or gloss, a quick fix to make your face look pretty just a little bit. But the tool that lies within is deadly as sin. We have to change the words that we speak. You see, you've been speaking death upon your sister's soul. That gossip about Shirley Sue or what she chooses to do or what you heard she does is sent out into the universe. And it touches poor Shirley Sue. And every time she tries to quit, your words lash her back, hit her hard, and she's gone again. When I was a young girl, Auntie said I'd never be more than my mama. Well, I never knew my mama, but I know that she left me when I was 2. Auntie felt bad for the child who had been abused, so she took me in. But it was a burden for her. And every time I act up, Auntie would say, this child is a waste of time. She'll never be worth more than a dime. You'll see. This is what Auntie sent out into the universe for me. Auntie could have said, this motherless child will break chains. She'll grow strong and independent, increase her wealth and the land. But I grew up to be just like my mama, and by 15 I was strung out on drugs. The power of words. Auntie's words had no love. When I was a young woman, I always said I'd marry a rich man. Said it over and over and over again. Never said I'd marry an honest man, or a hard-working man, or a God-fearing man, or a loyal man, but a rich one. And at 22, he was set my way. Rich was the only attribute that this man possessed. I mean, he was a huge mess. Every day, and he hit me in an awful way. But you see, his words hurt more than his fists. It were the words that created the fear that kept me unable to resist his pleas not to leave. My sisters and brothers, you see, we gotta stop using words in the malicious ways that we do. We gotta stop tearing each other down and start building each other up. Because words have power. My God, so much power. If you don't mind repeating that with me. Words have power. So much power. Once more. Words have power. Thank you.
Yeah, please give it up to her one more time. Again, what she just said. Words have what? Power. That's why I'm on that radio. I make sure I say the best thing that I can say. You know what I'm saying? Because words have what? Power. All right, Meka, you did your thing, baby. Everybody else did well also. Let's keep it rolling, right? Can we keep it rolling? Is it okay, Courtnay? Is it okay? Let's give it up to Courtnay. I'm sorry. I got Courtnay on my mind. I got Kristina on my mind. Because these are the two ladies that introduced me to poetry right here. Courtnay the poet and Kristina, okay? So Charleston queens right there, okay? Everybody's queens, but that's why I keep calling their names. But we're gonna keep it rolling. Lady War, are you in the building? Lady War. Hello. Is she here? She disappeared. She left? Okay. I can call you up?
You call me.
Yeah. I'm gonna do it like I do at the concert, okay? Low country. I need you to put your hands together and give it up for Kristina, the queen. All right.
And I don't know where she went. So I'm gonna kind of do two right quick and I'll
please feel free to come back up, okay? All right, the first piece that I'm gonna do is my signature piece. It's called "In Women."
Yes.
So I hope you guys do it.
Yes.
I don't need a microphone. I am a woman, but alone it seems that statement is underrated. When in reality, she's the greatest being that God could have ever created. You see, I was raised back in the days, right up until that very age, where society deemed me old enough to make it on my own. So often to my part of the globe, I dove, equipped with my wits and the tools to use from what my grandmother's daughter had shown. So now I'd be crowned heiress to her throne. But you see, I didn't inherit this rite of passage to dwell in the lavishes of castle-like palaces. No. What I had grown up to co-inhabit was totally opposite of what I had imagined, where we were always told that fairy tales concluded with happy endings. But this tale is right at the beginning, where we now live out these days of scary tales, unaware of contracting diseases called catching hell and paying bills. And on top of having to supply my needs, I had a child dependent on me, so that's another mouth to feed. To all the women and mothers before me, I take my hat off. You see, I now know how it feels to have highs and lows, to be subjected to blows that couldn't always be cushioned by something soft, to go out and work, scraping to bring home the bacon and still have the utilities be turned off.
Come on.
A constant struggle. And to my own mother, I misjudged you. You see, I didn't know back then she suffered to keep us covered. She kept her head up. She loved and fed us. She made it all look easy even though it was tough. But now I am a grown-up, set in place to emulate what she taught us, to bring my own family as far as she brought us. At times, this remains to be seen. You see, I will admit that I cracked under the pressures, nursing my sorrows with what could be swallowed on the inside of a bottle of allowing my tensions to ease from the inhaled steams of nicotine, thinking this would solve them, but it wasn't a solution, just another problem. You see, a woman most times get tossed dead smack in the middle to be hit the hardest. She is forcibly elected to be the head of the household, the role models and the mothers and fathers to our sons and daughters. But she's willing to pay the price of that sacrifice no matter what the cost is. She's the backbone in every home. The gallant knight charging forward to thrive. Because if she knows nothing else, she knows how to survive. She is strong, loving, beautiful, and patient. Her Achilles heel is reinforced with steel, steering her towards greatness. So any negativity thrown her way,
It's weightless.
it's weightless. She is a woman. She is a woman. And that's a statement alone that should never be underrated. Thank you. Alright, the next one I'm going to do, y'all know I'm pretty political. Alright, so something along those lines. Alright, I'll do this poem called, I haven't done it in a while. I'll do Justice Ain't Blind. They say that justice is blind, but I say that they're lying. That sash tied over her eyes is nothing more than a clever disguise. You see, I know that she can see me and everybody else who resembles me. And the proof is when I watch the reports that the news distorts on TV. And although we're supposed to be innocently presumed, they've already labeled us guilty. Oh, but she will turn a blind eye to the white of the wealthy. So if my reflection, if not a projection, of Caucasian pigmentation, there's no helping me. Leaving me stuck up the creek without a pattern. But see, the sad part is, I already knew that before the judge could bang his gavel. When 9 times out of 10, we're the ones at the losing end of the battle. So I don't have to read between the lines to recognize the lies when it's right there staring me in my face. They'll take one look at our ethnic background or our race and don't give a damn about how we're pleading our case. You see, it's all just a brand new way for those shackles once worn around our hands and feet to be replaced. Yet they say that justice is blind, and I say that they're lying. When thousands of black men can be accused, tried, and sentenced, called a menace, spend 20 or more years in prison for them to come out all along and admit that they were innocent. Time stolen, hopes and dreams broken. You see, we can replace material items, but we can't get back to life for a moment. And then they try to inflict us with treatments of unjust, acting like they're not the ones that's correct, but that's all swept up under rugs like that. And yet, we act like we can't comprehend how that web gets spent. You see, they'll give us 10 years in the pen if you kill someone with the same shade of dark skin, but you will get 50 or more years if you harm one of them or carry the status of a drug kingpin. They think that all black men can only sell drugs, make babies, or pull triggers to kill other niggas. So is it them or is it really us? And who should we trust when we collapse right into the trap, putting us against us? When will we wake up and realize that they never really cared about us? And all that we've had, all that we have, and all that we've ever needed is us. To my black people, to the black people, we have to realize that it's our sole responsibility to take control of our own lives. Just pay attention to the signs and you can see how it's all played out in design. Because they say that justice is blind, but Queen says they're lying. Hey.
Everybody, please put your hands together for Lady War. Sorry, party to the party. And if y'all see a little peekaboo action, I have ripped my jumpsuit, so y'all still look good. So y'all know. And that's a sexy jean vest. Yes. You looking more. I know y'all were rushing. Let me get take to the back of the down. Well, let me get on. Y'all can hear me, right? Yes. Right? All right. I am one of the fun poets, and I hope I don't offend anybody with my words because sometimes my mouth get a little slick. I'm a little nasty, and my mama tell me I need to watch that. So you know, I promise y'all. I was trying to censor it as much as I can. Because I got a poem that everybody wants me to do. But I'm trying to censor the poem. How did I want to laugh? Alright, let's get to it. First one on the map. I'm on an emotional roller coaster. Loving you ain't nothing healthy. Loving you was never good for me. But I can't get off this emotional roller coaster. Loving you ain't nothing healthy. Loving you was never good for me. Piece of my heart is missing where your name was once written. Closing my eyes, I try to fill the void with memories of your hugs and kisses. And when I fall asleep at night, a little part of me feels complete. But as soon as I open my eyes, I realize that I'm alone again. And the void is back. Now I'm feeling for you like crack going through withdrawal because he's all that I desire, and getting him back is all that I aspire. I'm plotting, planning, call me against Junior because I never get tired. Mind racing, feet pacing, but no headway I'm making. The situation is frustrating. A toll on me is taken. I need you. I breathe you. I can't live without you. Don't leave me, please, baby. I'm sorry. I'll never doubt you. These are the words that pour from my soul as he walked out my door. As he walked away from me. And I cried. And I cried some more. Until one day I stopped. And I had to ask myself, how the fuck am I chasing a man that ain't got no desire for me? Thank you. Even up in front of the crowd, make it hot. Hey, and I got on extra clothes. There you go. There you go. Shut up. All right, y'all. Let's go to the next one. Let's go. Alright. Thick chicks at in the house. Hey! Hey, I'm talking about right here. See, this poem right here is from a big girl. Yes. You know them thick chicks with a pant size and them double digits. The eyes the size of Pam Hawson when you walk, you thunderclap, you leave niggas shell. There's forward full of ladies that got a wiggle just to pull your pants over your butt. Right. Down and stretch that body over your gut. Right. I'm talking to my ladies with that little extra inches around your waist. Got that extra jump in your tongue and put that little extra pant in your Yes, ladies. I'm talking to you. And I want to let you know that it's okay for you to eat that cake can of milk. Some of us get so shy when it's time to fetch that plate. We say no to the dessert when we know good and damn well we want our ice cream and cake. Question: why are you playing games? Why are you being hesitant when it's clearly evident that you like to eat? Yes, I like to eat. Collard greens and cornbread. Yes. Mashed potatoes with gravy. Yes. Macaroni with lots of cheese. I'm getting hungry. Please give me an extra side of fish on the side. Yes. I mean, I'm just saying, shoot. I love my strawberries and whipped cream. I love my chicks with dicks. I mean, my chips with dicks. Give my sweet potato pie and watch me as I close my eyes and pop my lips away on my hips as the flavors dance on the tongue. I'm greedy. I am. But I embrace every curve. Right. I love every dimple. And when I walk, I like the way my butt feels when it jiggles. But I don't have a gap in between my thighs. But please believe me, I can create one if you know what I mean. So ladies, it's simple. It don't matter if you ain't a size 2. Go on, go and make it do what it do. Right. Pay no attention to the size of your waist. Those whispers behind your back or those whispers in your face. Because guess what? I love the way that big woman tastes. Just a little teeth down like my mama Meka. Bria. Big girls get hot. Bria. Light on you, girl. No, we got churn here.
I just had children in the street.
Let me know. My tooth is really bad.
You can still hear back there.
No, they going all the way out for a minute.
Oh.
Churn.
Y'all step out, please.
There was a disclaimer on the post.
No, but that's why I said it's okay. It's okay, little teeth. Thank you, baby.
I can say that.
No, it's all right. No, they're all right. I see y'all know this.
I'm sorry, y'all. Still got the D word and the E word in it, so excuse me if I offend anybody, but it's very easy, right? I don't think y'all had not to hit a diss like that y'all feel y'all still. Hey, all right.
I won her before the show.
Go ahead.
There you go. All right.
We ready.
There you go.
There you go. I'm nervous.
Yeah.
I'm anxious. I'm trembling. And I don't even know why. You see, I'm trying to be gentle, but part of me, because I got to get this off my mental, but you know what's really making me sick? How badly I want to throw this back to the I gotta get this off my membrane because this shit's got your girl going insane, but you know it's really making me sick. How badly I want to throw this on that stick. And excuse me if I'm being too forward, but you know I'm a woman with needs. I ain't got time to talk, I'm trying to show it. Roll my big ass up in the press up. And there's no need to worry because this big girl hair is flipped. But as long as you got enough equipment to handle what's between these thighs, I said put me in the game, coach, because I'm suited up and ready to ride. And it doesn't matter what position you put me in, because I've been ready to get this work in. Because one thing for sure and two things for certain, I've been ready to
Throw your ass to the circle.
right, everybody, please put your hands together for the illustrious.
Yes.
I guess so. She can do it.
Do it by singing
A
sound.
little bit.
Right,
Come on, Joe.
Oh, it's all right. It's all right.
All right. So first time performing in Charleston in over a year.
Longer than that.
And tell us about your accomplishments.
Oh yeah. Since the last time my Charleston folks seen me, I've lost 73 pounds. I'm currently a vegan, so I eat no meat, no dairy, no animal byproducts or anything.
Right.
And this is my first time home, and I love seafood, and I don't know how I'm gonna. I love it inside. So at first she said don't do one, then I put the churn out, and then so I put
Right.
Parents are there.
Oh yeah, people.
Everybody broke out.
All right, so I do one that I haven't done yet, and it's called Happy Hour. It's been a long day at work, and you've put in plenty of hours, so go ahead and relax, because after that shower, I'm taking you to Happy Hour, where there's half-price items for full-price services. You worked it. Come on, baby, let me serve it. I'm giving these 2-for-1 special, and I'm not talking about shop top every once in a blue moon. I'm talking that animal sex like they do in the zoo. I'm better than any appetizer you can think of. You don't need chairs to beer. You don't need beers and chairs. Just open my legs and drink up. And don't worry about those $4 cocktails and all I want is your cock and my tail.
Oh my
Right.
I like that. I like that pedal.
Okay. No pale ale for sale. I'm talking top shelf. I told him to meet me at 1800. That's 6 o'clock for those. But also the greatest tequila ever made.
Alright.
Just to let you know that my truth is absolute, and I'm going to be forever clear that this here is 100 proof. He looks at me and said, "You the bomb, man." And he knows he never has to cheat because I always tell Johnny Walker my way. So let's make a bet. I got 20 grand and this will put you in a trance. You see, we are exclusive because this ain't for anybody. But when your body is my body, it's like a party. And there's Captain Morgan in this. Beating on your chest like a Congo in this. You see, this is what I call happy hour. But there's half-price items for full-price services. Because baby, you deserve it.
Yes.
Yeah, too bad.
Yeah,
Gretchen, get some of my
y'all
other
make me
stuff.
nervous.
You know, that's all I can do.
Get your fan, Gretchen.
All right, and this is one that Gretchen, Gretch told me that she wanted me to do. This is a true story. Even though hers was based on somebody, this is something that I actually went through. It's called 2 years. A delicate flower deflowered at 13 years old. Not by one of those pissy-tailed boys that you warned me about, but him. Every morning he waited. He waited until you went to work, and then he went to work. He would kneel beside my bed, and the words were said. Then one hand under my covers, the next under, with one hand under my covers, the next over my mouth, it covered. It was him. He couldn't be gentle. That wasn't in him, so he inserted too. I could feel the calluses on his hand because he was a hard-working man. You know, raising cows and shit, helping building houses and shit. He was a mason, a trustee in the church. And who was I? I was no one. I was the no one that no one would believe, so I kept my mouth shut. The sight of him sent fear cutting through me like a torch through metal. How long will this continue? It's 5 a.m., man.
Take your time.
Come on, poet. It's 5 a.m. and you're still at work, but he's not. On my door, he knocks. He says, wake up, watch TV with me. He grabbed my hand and pulled me to the floor. He wanted a lot more. And he pulled me in his lap and we went to the Meka at 5 o'clock in the morning. 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, 9. 1 year, 2 years have gone by. And you had no clue what was being done under your own roof. Under the roof that he built with those callous hands that will touch me more than he touched you. 15 years old, and that deflowered flower is finally on her last petal. But who was I to trust? Who would believe me that for 2 years I let him touch me? That for 2 years I would be frozen in fear from hearing the sound of his voice. For 2 years. Would they really believe that I didn't really have a choice? For out of fear for 2 years, I would allow this, so I told. I told my cousin, who told my aunt, who told my grandma, and told my mom. I told her. And you wouldn't believe what happened next. I was told that it was all my fault. And I shouldn't have worn those shorts to school that day. And I shouldn't have been a 5'7" at 14 years old, with legs as long as the Nile River, with kissable caramel skin. I was cast away, like the stone that was launched from the hand that has never committed a sin. My mother shipped me to my grandmother where I lived the rest of my childhood, and I never understood. I never understood how it was so easy, because I never could do that to my child. Now he's treating my mom like shit. And she once came to me and said, I should have let you put him in jail, that son of a bitch. I haven't gotten over it, but I've gotten through it. My brother gave him a grandson. His daughter gave him a grandson. And I pray to God that he blesses me with all boys. Because if he blesses me with a chubby cheek, caramel kissable, skin little girl, I will kill that motherfucker dead before I let her ruin my little girl's world. Because he is the truth. Said he is so real. And I love the way that he makes me feel. And that I am a reflection of him. That I must be fly because his light, it shines so bright I couldn't lie. You stand tall and strong. And like a tree beside troubled water, you will not branch off and leave. You will not move. You will not move by situations that are placed in front of you, and for that, I admire you. Yet everyone's in your hand. Strong back to keep you lifted. You are king. You see, I call you king because I know your worth. So let me be. Let me be your Achilles heel, made of steel, to stand right beside you when things get tough. Let me be the ink you write your most intimate piece, your muse, your motivation. Let me be the beat you rap your lyrics to. Let me be your sweetest haiku. Let me be the bow after the rain, the joy after the pain, the light after the night, a kiss after a fight. Let me be the real love you're searching to find. Let me be your I love you, because you're mine. I love the way he thinks. I love the way he speaks. I love the way that he treats his mother. I love that gap in between his teeth. I love him in every way that a woman can love a man. From personal to universal. But most of all, it's unconditional. Thank you.
Y'all give it up to her one more time. I can do better than that now. But keep it coming. Give it up for Courtnay, the poet.
Sister, you've been on my mind. Oh, sister, we're two of a kind. Oh, sister, I'm keeping my eye on you. I bet you think I don't know nothing but singing the blues. Oh, sister, have I got news for you? I'm something. I hope you know that you're something too. She comes in shades of sweet honey caramel, cocoa brown, licorice, black skin tone. From sizes to petite to plus size, but I like to call her big bone. Sister girl got it going on. From the early morning to the crack of dawn, you trying to figure out who she be. Well, she be me, and I'll be her, cause we be sisters of the same mister. Our daddy named Adam, mama named Eve. She used to keep her baby girl's hair braided in platinum. Then we went from fried, dyed, laid to the side. Now you can't keep us out our wigs and weave, but Negro, please. If you think any 27 piece can amount to the many times she's had to piece back together her family, from financial loss, incarceration, and infidelity, she's been troubled as if it's diamonds and pearls. She is the only woman who can make pork and beans and rice taste like a conserver of energy. You better keep her door closed because you're letting all the flies and you're about to make her power bill high. Cliche saying, I brought you into this world and I will take you out. From the womb to the tomb is a motto. She leads by example, so whatever she does, I suggest you follow. She has thousands of years of history, from Nefertiti to Aphrodite to your greasy granny. She does not know what it is to be in a recession, because she has patented and trademarked just what it is to make $1 out of 15 cents. She's been held back since the beginning of creation. She's the only woman who can save this nation, and you still trying to figure out who she be. Will she be me, and I be her, because we be sisters of the same mister. Our daddy named Adam, mama named Eve. Peace. I am Courtnay the poet. How y'all doing today? Stage with so many fire females. Everybody is doing their thing, and y'all are amazing. That was my first one to do two and get on through, because I know they want us to get our grub on and come back and do some other stuff. All right. To piggyback, Blades, if I may.
Oh,
That's a one.
I know. Yes, it is.
At 13, I was deemed prestigious because my legs were thicker than yours. My D cups then stood at attention, and my pearl was just that. Rare, special, unique, and not developed fully. But all he could see was an opportunity to add a name to the list while taking my virginity, causing mental damage, leaving tissue scarred, while in my normal routine, I was being barred from talking to the boys of my grade. They mamas thought I was just a little too fast. I had a different stride in my walk and a different tone in my talk, and that was an adjustment made by me. At the 3 grades prior, trying to show Demetrius that there could be a we, but taking the big girl to the 8th grade social wasn't cool. And even if he thought I was cute, he wouldn't be the butt of everyone's jokes in school, so I used my tools to get attention elsewhere, trying to help soothe the pain, but not knowing that my pearl would never regain its original value. But I, like most first-time users, said fuck it. Allowed him to dig deeper than my vaginal wound, letting him mainstream me, dropping his kids off of me, not thinking that I could have a baby, but that overly developed 13-year-old you used to see got her period when she was 8. The 2nd grade wasn't so great. I was taking steps into womanhood without actually taking steps. Never being told the grief that my monthly friend could bring to protect my innocence. Him not knowing that when he tore my walls, it wasn't the first time I bled and I dread. The first time he invited me over and there were red stains in my panties. His only perverted response was, baby, grab a towel, it's about to get messy. Not giving a damn about this potential statutory pregnancy because he knew it would be easy to get me to abort a baby because I killed his touch. I'd rob steel if that wasn't enough. We tore up happy homes. Had his wife and my parents thinking they were doing something wrong. He had me hooked. Like crack, I cooked up different stories to make myself feel like he needed me. He made me feel pretty in that 13. That is all a little girl he wants to feel, so you couldn't tell me he wasn't going to leave her for me. Until I turned 17 and he left for a girl 4 years younger than me. My Prince Charming had turned pedophile. My fairy tale had turned nightmare. No pixie dust could fix this. I tried to use my pearl to fix this make love is to blasphemy analogy. Wondering why years later the wrong set of lips now speak for me, introducing me as that insecure little girl who gave away her pearl way too soon. You know, the one they had nicknamed Fast Ass from middle school. The one who had used all of her tools. And now at 33, I watch my voluptuous niece with my tool, cocked, aimed and ready for the pool. Who tried to convince her that her beauty lies in between her thighs. That not only her body will try to rape the life out of her mind, and I will be there. So history won't repeat itself this time. I tell her every day that she is beautiful. So when he says, her only response will be, tell me something that I don't know.
Courtnay, one more time. You check the ring, right? Gotta check the ring. That's right, right? It's glistening. I don't know how you could miss it. But we got 2 more poets before we go on a little intermission. So bear with us, bear with us. I know it's a little tight, but you know we love each other. Good. So next up to the mic, everybody please put your hands together for Swiss No Cheese. All right. My poems are a little shorter, so we're gonna get to the food a little sooner. I wonder if the black woman knows how goddess she is. Wonder if she knows the world spins to make sure every inch can be graced by her presence, her smile, a culmination of 32 North Stars. Her cry could shatter constellations. Falling stars are nothing more than the eviction of her tear ducts. Oh, how many chains will they bind you by, Queen? How many times will they tell you that your pigment postulates poverty? How many times will they try to measure your beauty with metrics that were never meant to apply to you? How long will they tell you that other women set the standards for beauty when they quite clearly pale in comparison?
Come on.
Let's go, Swiss.
How long will men tell you how you must look, walk, speak to be able to stand at his side? Black women, cast down those chains. For you are the rib that stands alone. Man is incomplete without you, not vice versa, and you are unequivocally the rule about which women measure themselves. Ask plastic surgeons how many Kardashians they make in your image. Ask plastic surgeons how many Kardashians they make in your image. How many spray cans hold the false melanin that can only dream to be the brown silk that adorns you naturally? You are the epitome of perfection. And no matter how many chains they try to bind you with, know that you are free. Free from stereotype and societal standards. Free from romantic constraints and glass ceilings. Free from the poster bees. Free from the propositions of posers pretending they are who they're supposed to be. Free to act up, act out, and stand out accordingly. This is your world, Queen. You are free. We are all victims of the system, products of the system, barcodes that wrap around our necks like crucifixes. Consumerism is our religion. But you tell me, who's God? They say the present is the gift, but only for those who have more green faces than they have problems. See, the thing about the present is the way we work for these dollars, we are still slaves to the presidents. And God we trust, plastered on our backs. Words as paper thin as the currency itself, I say it's false advertising.
And if money make the world move round, then guns are the axes of revolution. No more are these weapons used as tools for revolution. Forget about raising our children, we raise arms. Yeah. A pocket what falls from raised arms. Not realizing the power wielded in a raised arm. So firearms have become the only answers to our questions. We are victims of the system, products of the system, barcodes that wrap around our necks like crucifixes. Consumerism is our religion. You tell me, where's God? Let's go.
Before I call up the next poet, just to let y'all know, there is a merch table.
Yes.
Merchandise. A lot of these poets are published. A lot of these poets have CDs. So holla, support your local artists. I'm actually inspired. Like me and Poetry Man had a beef lately because I haven't been writing lately. But I'm actually inspired today. I might actually write a sentence or two. But last but not least for this round, everybody please put your hands together for author Jayne Phlow.
All right, everybody, how y'all doing? All right, so my pieces are a little lengthy, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do one piece because I know everybody's hungry. I'm hungry. So I'm going to do this one piece, and then since there is a second round, then I'll come back and do my other two-ish. So with this first piece that I'm going to do is definitely my signature piece that I really truly get sick and tired of doing all the time. But I'm going to do it anyway. And before I start this piece, I always have to ask a few questions so I can gauge who's in the audience hearing this particular piece right here. So the first question that I need to ask of everyone is, how many moms do we have out here? Oh, a lot. Okay. All right. How many single moms do we have out here? All right. How many of us single mothers are mothers of sons? Okay. All right, so this piece that I'm going to do, it actually speaks to those of us single moms of sons who tend to take the anger of the broken relationship with our son's father out on our sons. And yes, it does happen with the daughters too, but it's much more evident with the sons. And this particular piece is called, I Think I Hate My Son. I think I hate my son. Oh no, not for the child he is, but for the man he could become. You see, in him, I see a whole lot of you. So since you're full of shit, will that be his fate too? Will he develop your laziness and all your sorry ways? Will he make promises to be there and then not show up for days? Will he always try his best and do everything he can to use you as an example of what not to be as a man? Or is he just another nigga destined to be? Not a product of his dreams, but of all this shit that he sees. My son, my son, my poor, poor son. My whack ass, sorry ass, trifling ass son. I see his braids slip. I see the smoke from the grass. I see the berry of females all shoved up his ass. Just treating him like a king, like his little ding-a-ling is so sweet. Until he busts that last nut and makes a hasty retreat. 9 months going once, twice, 3, 4 times. A girl and a boy, another girl and boy in the line. And now I have to take on the same role as your mom. And be a better father than our deadbeat son. These girls' tears burn my ears as they once again cry. Why can't he do right? Why he always got to lie? Why can't he be there for his kids, especially his son? Well, how does a man be a dad if he never had one? I hate him for the position he might put me in. I done been through this shit with you, and now he's taking me through it again. 4 different baby mamas, and they ain't married to none. My hoeing ass, lying ass, cheating ass son. He ain't got no dreams or no kind of hope for tomorrow. He can't give me shit because he always got to borrow. So full of promise, but no kind of ambition. Unless he's sniffing out coochie, it seems to be his only mission. Bouncing from one woman's house to the next, leaving each one all the more confused and perplexed. Oh, he said that he loved you. Baby girl, he just told her the same thing. And he said that he's going to marry you. But what the fuck is the ring? See, right now, I'm having me a horrible case of deja vu. Because instead of seeing my sweet little son, all I see is you. But let me pause for a minute because I swear I'm not being fair. The truth of this matter has finally become clear. So there's a perfectly good reason why I would not give him your first name, because even though the two of you look alike, you'll never be one and the same. And I know that the responsibility first lies with me. Because how can I push him into the future when I can't even set my past free? Still angry with you, but he catches my wrath. You abandon him, I neglect him. Now you do the math. But since it's you who decided to walk out on him again, it's you who's going to suffer for this in the end. This child is destined for greatness. He's worthy of the best. And now that I finally let you go, I can now help him to progress into this image of God that's already been planned. This strong, highly favored blessing of a man. My son, my son. Lord knows I love my son for the change he shall become, despite the one he came from. That's that.
That's it. There you go now. As you can see, the food is to the rear. Make sure you look at some of the exhibits while you're here. Also, on this side, you'll see the pink table, that's the merch table.
Thank you. Yeah, we're going to take a quick intermission. Also, we have young lady here. She set up with a slot where you can stand here and take pictures if you like. You know, have it taken, have it printed out, keep it, frame it, whatever you want to do with it. That's all.
I just have a really special request. Can I get all the queens to come outside and get a nice little photo shoot?
Okay, all right, we coming. All right, yeah, I'll be back in about 15, 20 minutes.
What, going outside? Excuse me, I don't need all that. I almost started crying myself. I had to pull back. Thank you. I'll take you to the, I was looking for Gretch. Kristina, she's the one that did, she's the one that has the pink hold on, let me go. So the next one was this. Poetry herself.
That's what the young lady she does.
And she was letting me know that, and that's what she just said.
You know, maybe occasionally. How? You see what happened? Okay.
You need us to come outside?
Yeah, we gotta go take a picture right quick.
Yeah, stay right here.
You'll be right back.
Yeah,
I'll get time.
I'll be right back.
All right.
How it smells? Smell like.
Oh no, everybody acts up. Everybody.